In the aftermath of the Battle of Camdesh, Red Platoon 361 Cav lost roughly 25% of its combat personnel. A request went out to the brigade for volunteers. One of these volunteers sits before me, Sixto Carrasquillo. Welcome to Midnight Show.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me. Like I said, I'm digging the name. I love it.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Let's hear what got you in the Army in the first place.
Of course, 9/11. I mean, that was definitely the main thing. 9/11. I always wanted to join the Army, but since I was the only male in my family, it was me, my mother, my sister, and we lived in a rough neighborhood. I just couldn't leave them and do that. So I never joined because.
And you're from New York originally, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Born and raised. I'm a New Yorican.
So, what's your MOS, and what year did you actually join up?
My MOS is 11 Bravo, infantry, and I joined in 2007. 2007. I swore in on September 11, 2007.
What was your first duty station?
First duty station was Fort Carson. The unit was already deployed when I got here. So, it was one of those things I had to catch up with my unit. I was here trained up for about a month. Well, yeah, I got here in January, and I was in Iraq in March.
Well, what unit did you deploy with?
Oh, 168. 168, 3rd Brigade. Yeah.
So you were in Iraq when you volunteered?
Yes. I was part of the surge.
Interesting. So what did you hear about 361 Cav before deciding to come to us?
It was funny. I found out about what happened on CNN, of course. I remember it was a Sunday. I believe it was the afternoon when I saw it. I was already drunk, of course, so I had just come back from Iraq, so, and I remember seeing on the news, they were showing live footage, some, not actual live, but stuff they recorded, I guess. And they were, I don't know, I remember being upset, because I went to Iraq and I never got to fire a shot, we almost got blown up a bunch of times, but when I heard about that, I was like, that's where infantrymen are supposed to be at. That's, and then, it's just one of those things, It moved.
Combat guys playground.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm gonna be honest, one of those, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it. And I told all my young soldiers after that, man, be careful what you wish for, because you just might get it, man. And, sometimes what you want ain't what you want.
So what did your unit think of you volunteering?
Oh, forget about it. We were shunned upon. I remember pulling up to the parking lot, and there was a whole big commotion. Guys were talking. I'm walking through, and I'm hearing bits and pieces. And I don't remember who I asked, but I asked somebody, that I was cool with. I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" And they said, "Oh, you ain't here, blah blah blah." I said, "Yeah, I saw it on, on the news." They were like, "Well, they're asking for volunteers." So I was like, "All right, so where you got to go to sign up?" And he said, "First sergeant." So I went over, knocked on first sergeant door. And I remember I was like, "Hey, first sergeant, I want to volunteer for this, to go to Afghanistan." And I remember him looking at me with a frown, and he was like, "What do you want to go to Afghanistan for?" I said, "Because this is what I signed up for. I signed up to fight, And I remember he was like, "Well, ain't you married?" I said, "Yes, I'm married." And he was like, "Well, I don't want your wife calling over here and saying, why did we send you?" You know what I'm saying? And I was like, "Don't worry about it. That's not gonna happen because I'm the man of my house. My wife understands, and she's not gonna, she's not gonna make any ruckus about this." So he said, "Oh, I'm gonna put your name down, but I'm not gonna make no promises." They put my name down on the list. It was a big list. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be honest with you, I was proud, that I was, so far down and so many people volunteered. And next thing I know, they were like, "Okay, you're going to Afghanistan." But before that, they put us all into a conference room. And I remember we were sitting in the conference room, and we all, I don't know about everybody else, but I was thinking we're going to get pat on the back, "Hey, all right, get some fuzz, oh, show 11 balls, blah, blah, blah." And well, what I got was such a different, I remember, first of all, was, "Do you even know where this place is?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Oh, you going to volunteer to go to a place that you don't know nothing about?" And I was like, "Well, that's where the enemy is. Wherever the enemy is where I'm supposed to go." And he ain't like that answer very much. Then they were going on about that we were stupid, that after we survive Iraq, why would we want to put ourselves in jeopardy for people we don't know? That the unit is messed up because they got, if they were squared away, that wouldn't never happen. So they were talking a lot of stuff that they didn't even know what actually happened. You know what I'm saying? I mean, nobody knew, until, so it was just funny to me. I mean, it was like the first, it was one of the times, as many, that I thought that maybe I made a mistake joining the army, because it was something, because I saw a lot of things that didn't make sense to me. Not what I envisioned, the army to be like, and especially not at wartime.
Such as?
Such as I would have commended my guys, I would have, "Hey, you guys," I would have first wanted to make sure they're doing it for the right reasons, That would have been my first and utmost thing. "Why are you doing this? Convince me what's the reason why you're doing it." I think that was the proper way. Bring us in one by one, and we'll say why we're doing it. And I mean, there's no right or wrong answer to that. That's somebody's feelings. So you can't say that that's a wrong reason for someone to do something. But I think at least they should have went that route and not shun us. They like we were. I remember hearing them like, "Oh, don't talk to those guys." I mean, that's how bad it got. They're telling, "Don't talk to them." So.
Damn, so how long after volunteering did you take you to ship out?
Oh, I got to you guys in November. November. So yeah, so October. Yeah, it took 1 month. We was there.
Damn, so what
I
was
remember. I remember. I remember the first time when I got to you guys to the rear D guys, right? They were telling us how bad it was, and they were telling us, what to expect. You know what I'm saying? So, it was like no matter how much training you do, the climbing, that elevation and all that, And I remember going to the incline and going with my body armor
yeah.
and going up the incline with it. You know what I'm saying? And I would do that every week and try to faster and faster before I left. And
For people who
yeah,
don't know, the incline is an old cog railroad that just climbs up a mountain in Colorado, like straight up, and it's a ball buster. It ain't easy under the best of circumstances.
Yeah. So and yeah, we did that, and I remember that was the first time I found out that we were going to be with scouts, you know. I was like, what the hell's a scout? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and you know, they and I remember them, they were like, oh, what are you? What's your, you know, MOS, right? I'm a 11 Bravo. And he goes, oh, you a bullet catcher. And I
Who
ain't
said
never
that?
heard that of a bullet catcher. I was like, bullet catcher? He said, yeah, when they stop firing, you guys run into the bullets. And I was like, yeah, that's what we do. I mean, kinda, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we close in and destroy the enemy. That's what we do, you know. But it was an experience. I mean, it was good because I was around other 11 Bravos, you know, and we all just got back, so we all knew, you know, what
So yeah,
kind of what to expect.
you fit right in. We already had misfit 11 Bravos in our platoon there. Old Jonesy.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, you guys were rolling deep by the end of it. So you came with Johnson.
Yeah, it was me, Johnson. Yeah. Yeah.
You can talk about him a little bit if you want. I don't think I'll ever be able to get him on the show.
Oh man, Johnson. Man, I don't. If I say what kept me going, you know what I'm saying? One of the biggest things was Johnson. You know, I don't know, that was my.
He was good at keeping a positive attitude, even after getting shot in the ass.
Yeah, you, I mean, yeah, but he got. I don't know, man. He could have went home. You know that,
Yeah. Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
he could
yeah.
have went home. They wanted to send him home, and he said no. He said no.
Yeah. This dude, he'd be high on pain pills. He'd be playing Xbox, and
Yeah.
he'd pull his bandage off and stick his raw, nasty bone right in your face. Shit would stink.
Yeah, he was.
He's a weird guy.
You know what? But nobody. I would want to be. You know what I'm saying? A firefighter. I want him right by me, man. You know, so Johnson, I'll tell you, man, and he looked out for me. You know, I remember, we went on a mission, with Sergeant Jacobs' mission with those guys. What's that? White platoon.
Yeah.
And you know, remember they used to always come get guys, you know, from Red
Oh yeah.
to go on.
Steal guys from us. Go.
Yeah.
What was it? Checkpoint Delta.
Yeah. You know, so we went up this mountain, and I remember putting on all my gear for my rat. You know, my neck gaiter, you know, neck protector, the nut protector, and they was like, "Yo, you gotta take that off." Like, nah, man, I'm carrying orders, you know. And I remember, and I was the AG for Johnson, so I got, I don't know, like 600 rounds of you know 7.62, and man, I mean, halfway I was like, oh my God, man, I'm gonna die. You know, I'm not gonna make this. You know, and I remember the Afghan guys at the same time they were taking more breaks, and meanwhile these guys had nothing on. You know, no body armor, no nothing. They just, you know, carrying their ammo can and their weapon, and I'm like, they had to stop, take breaks. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was thankful. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Because
yeah.
I needed it. But I remember I was like, you know, and I remember that shit, they had to take ammo away from me, you know, because I couldn't carry it, you know. But I learned the lesson, you know, because I could be stubborn. You know, they told me not to wear all that shit, but you know, I was thinking about safety.
Yeah, that's the after everybody's first patrol out there in the mountains. Let's see what I can not bring next time. Did they give you a plate carrier after that, or were you using the IBA the whole time?
No, thank God they gave me a plate carrier. Yeah, that was amazing after that. Yeah. I got a plate carrier after that. But I remember coming off that mountain, and I mean, I was a broken man, you know, that it really broke me. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, I really made a mistake. You know, like I shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I was feeling. And I remember Sergeant Jacobs come up to me, and that's when you got those bracelets, you know, with everybody's name that passed away at Keating, you know. And he came and gave me one. And I was like, son, I wasn't there. He said, you here, right? You're here now, right? I said, yeah. He said, here you go. And I remember I put that bracelet on, and I didn't feel sorry for myself ever again. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those things. It was, I don't know. To me, it was, I don't know. Lately, I've been a lot religious, so I just believe that some higher power sent that man at that time to give me that, to remind me who I was. And that's how I felt.
He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely appreciate getting you. It was mostly good guys. We had a couple turds, you know,
Yeah.
leak in there, but for the most part, Red Platoon got the best guys from the resupply. Hugh Johnson and Wesley Seals, all top-notch dudes in my book.
Oh, that's right, Seals. Right. I didn't know when Seals came in. He was already there when I got there.
Yeah, he arrived, I want to say 3 or 4 days. He was, before he got there, he was working the brigade talk. I believe it's an RTO.
Right, something, yeah. Yeah.
You know, I can understand him wanting to get out of the office.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my last deployment, I was in the talk for a while.
Because by the time you got to us, we did most of our work mounted in vehicles with, you know, the occasional dismount. Tell me about just some of your first few patrols and getting integrated into the unit.
Well, like I said, that first mountain that broke me, yeah, that kind of set me up for the rest of my tour, you know? It showed me not to take things for granted, and to be mindful of, you know, whatever mission we're going, you know, and basically dress appropriately. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we did a lot of dismounted, but they were like, you know, since we were in vehicles, you know, they were never really far. You know, we didn't go too far, except for that one that we went up, you know, up all the way to fucking heaven. It looked like, you know, to get that one guy, you know, his house. Yeah. It was up in then he wasn't there, and yeah, that was that whole tobacco with that. But missions were interesting. It's a lot different from Iraq, you know. So I was actually I actually liked being in Afghanistan. I know it sounds crazy, but I actually liked it because I actually felt that I could do my job, you know. You're on the ground, you know, you get shot at, you know, you can see the enemy, you can shoot back, you know, at least if you don't see them, at least you got a general direction, you know. In Iraq, you just drive around and wait to get blown up. That's not fun, you know.
How was the ROE different from when you were in Iraq?
Well, you hear stories, you know, when you're training up, and ROE used to be you get shot at, guys would shoot 360 degrees. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you got hit with an IED, if the guy was on the cell phone at that time, he was toast. You know what I'm saying? They would just smoke you. And when I got there, the whole ROE changed. You know what I'm saying? You need positive PID. You can't shoot somebody if an IED goes off if they're on a cell phone. We were doing soft knocks. You know, you go to a house and you knock the door like you're a police. You know, doom doom doom. Oh yeah, we're looking for so and so. Can we come in? You know, it was really I don't know, man. It was just different. It was different. It wasn't what I expected, and it really took me to places I didn't know. You know, it really made me look deep into myself. You know, I remember we hit a house one time, and I always, you know, 11 Bravo. That's what we train for. You know what? Clearing, you know, clearing houses. You know, clearing buildings. You know, that's what we live for. That's our bread and butter. That's what we good at. And I remember hitting this house, and I just remember the terror in these people's eyes. And I'll never forget, just pure terror. And there's a man with his wife, his kids. And I remember thinking, if this was me, if somebody came into my house from another country and just kicked in my door when I'm doing nothing but here with my wife and kids, I'll definitely, if I wasn't a terrorist, I would become one, you know, and there was things like that, you know.
You want to talk about O.P. Jameson?
Jameson, that was the one we were supposed to build, right?
The that air assault.
Okay. What was that Operation Cold Front?
I don't remember the operation name. I know it was the OP we set up was OP Jameson.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the chaplain set out all these snacks and cookies. The Cougar's like, I guess we'll all die.
No, do you remember that the night before we was like, how we gonna carry all this stuff?
Yeah.
And somebody brought body bags.
Yeah.
Remember? And we put the 50 cal and everything in the body bags, and that's what we were carrying. And I was like, this is so wrong, man. We
fill body bags full of gear, put them on stretchers, and use that to carry our gear up there. Brilliant.
I was like, oh. And then when like you said, when the priest came and he started doing the little prayer thing, I was like, we've been on so many missions, and they ain't never treated us like this, you know? And I was like, this is just bad, man. This is just bad. I just knew that we weren't gonna come out of there unscathed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just knew it. I was just waiting for it. And the way it happened, man, I'll tell you, is like you couldn't make this up. The whole day I am focused. I am watching. I am like just scanning, you know? I wouldn't take a break because I just feel something's gonna happen. And I remember Johnson and they were laughing at me, oh, take it easy. I was like, man, I know something's gonna happen, man. You know, I just felt it. And I remember choppers coming in, hey guys, choppers coming in, we pulling security, choppers landing, you know, I do my little turn back, I see it, all right, cool, you know. And I remember hearing, Johnson, Squirrel, let's go. And I'm like, I look at Johnson looked at me, and we're like, wait a minute, everybody ain't on the bird yet, and we already, you know what I'm saying, we're pulling security, you know? So, you know, we did what we was told, you know, all right, turned around. I mean, I remember me swinging my weapon, you know, like this, and not even giving a shit. I'm like, I'm getting on the bird, I'm out of here, you know, that's it.
Yeah.
And next thing I hear is popcorn, because that's what it sounded like to me. And I was like, it took me a second to realize, I mean, everybody was down, and it wasn't until people start firing that I realized that we were taking contact, you know? I mean, it was like one of those, it was crazy. For that split second, I froze, you know? And I was disorientated, you know? I didn't know what was going on. But, you know, of course, once boom, I, you know, dropped to the ground, I started returning fire, you know? Everything, after that, everything was automatic for me, you know? I felt there was no thinking. I felt like a robot, you know? That's how my military career been. There's no thinking for me. It's like what I was taught is instilled in me in a way that it's just when it needs to be unleashed, it just comes out, you know? And
you built your own hasty fighting position there in a matter of minutes, stacking rocks.
Well, all right. Well, the thing with the rocks, All right, let me tell you what happened with that. Well, remember, I'm the AG. Johnson's my gunner, right? We already knew that they would, you know, if they had opportunity, they knew who they take down first, you know, because that's just we already knew that. Like they're gonna go after the guy with the biggest gun, you know. And I remember that when the firing started, I remember hearing, like I said, what woke me up was when I started. I heard that 240 going off, you know, and I was like, okay, boom, you know, and I remember if everybody's firing, we're firing for a minute now, you know, and then when it died down, I remember hearing, I'm hit, and I remember thinking, you fucking lying, you fucking full of shit, you know what I'm saying? You ain't hit, you know, like I didn't believe it. I thought he was fucking around, like you ain't hit, you know what I'm saying? And I remember, yo, I'm hit. I'm like, oh shit, it's real. So I remember crawling to him, you know, really fast, man. I felt like it was like seconds when I got to him. And I remember, like I said, automatic. I pull out my tourniquet and I start putting it on his leg, right? Because I just see blood. And I remember, and you know, everybody started firing again. You know, at that point they were, you know, firing, and he goes, I'm hearing say, I thought I heard him say higher. So all right, I'll go, you know, up. So high, and I hear him say higher. So for some reason, that's what I'm hearing. So I bring it all the way up, and I start to put it. He's like, no, stupid, I got shot in the ass. You know? So I was like, oh, okay. So I rip it off, threw it. I remember throwing it, and I was like, yo, I mean, I can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not skilled for that. So I remember I remember grabbing that's when Wilson grabbed the 240. I don't know where he came from. He grabs the 240 and he starts to lay down rounds. And that's when Cuddy and the other medic, I forgot his name, but they got they were working on Johnson, you know? So once I saw that, you know, when I saw two medics on him, I kind of completely blocked them out of my mind, you know? But like I said, that was just like an automatic type thing, you know? There's nothing I can do, and I have to take care of what's going on right now. And what right now is to lay down fire and to try to survive this, you know? That's what I thought, you know? And yeah.
Yeah, because we were taking fire from, you know, two different directions. They had the guys across the valley giving us. We were caught in a nice little crossfire.
Yeah.
I just remember when they started shooting that bird take off. I'm like, well, so much for hot chow. You know what I mean?
No.
We could have made it home for dinner, but
no. You know what's funny? I'm gonna tell you that's funny you said that. Cause I remember we're firing, like boom, 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 and you know, and I say to myself, why aren't we getting on the bird? You know what I'm saying? And then I remember I'm shooting my 203 and I flip over on my back to reload it, and I looked for where the bird was. There was no bird. I said, "Oh, of course, when I got a bird, there's no bird. It's gone." You know, and I was like, "Oh, great," you know.
Never seen a Chinook take off that fast. They were fucking
I didn't even
gone.
hear it, man. I did not even hear it go. You know, and I was like, and you know what bothered me about that? Because I was like, I didn't even hear those guns go off. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't hear them shooting from, you know?
From the birds?
Yeah. There was a gunner there.
Oh, they were the initial contact was facing directly at the nose of the plane or at the bird. So I don't know if they dude, they were gone in 10 seconds. Like
no, that's what I'm saying. That
took
they
right
didn't,
off.
yeah. No, that's I know because I remember, like I said, I was firing and I turned around to reload. And I was saying to myself, why are we not getting on this bird? When I turned around, it was gone. I was like, oh shit, that's why. And at that point, I just forgot. Honestly, at that point, I abandoned all hope of anybody coming to save us. I'll be honest with you. At that point, I said to myself, we are on our own here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
And
just
Cold
us.
Blood, the unit we were overwatching, they just got in their trucks and left.
Yeah, yeah,
We're just like, well, we sat there and waited till dark.
yeah,
The birds doing gun runs and shit. That mission was a clusterfuck.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a miracle that only one person got hit. You know what I'm saying? And we were more casualties. If they would have had RPGs or something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I
And
think
Johnson was standing in like a clump of people. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That could have been real bad.
yeah. It was yeah. You know what? I remember laying down there after a while because we was there for fucking. To me, it felt forever. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. I felt it was forever. But I remember there was one point when like all the shooting died down for a while, and you start to think, and I remember thinking, and I started praying. But it was weird because I was really, you know what? I've been in a lot of close situations, but I thought that was it. I did not have, I was not, I felt that there was no way I was getting off that mountain. That's what I truly felt. That I was not getting off. And I was okay with that. And that's not what bothered me. What bothered me was that all I kept praying to God was, don't let me be the last guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, don't let me be the last guy to look around and see all my buddies there. Don't do that to me. That's all I asked. Don't do that to me. And then right after that, like I said, when I stopped feeling sorry for myself, then I was like, all right, God, now please let me see one of these guys or I could just split them, you know?
The guys who shot Johnson initially, they were up on that ridge and they did what they usually do. They do a couple squirts and then take off running. Not shit you can do to them. That's just how they fight unless they're massing on you.
Yeah,
shoot and scoot.
I mean, they caused a lot of ruckus, you know. I mean,
that sniper that had us in the crossfire almost clipped Jonesy.
Exactly.
You look at his
remember,
face, and you can see the bullets landing right in front of his face.
Yep. And I remember him crawling back down, and he looked, and like you just see, he was just, you know, he just knew he just barely made it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He knew. He just knew. Death just walked over me. You know.
Yeah.
He
The
just
look
knew
you
it.
get when you just dodged a bullet.
Yeah, he knew. He knew because his face said it all, man. It was. But you know what? You know what I was proud of? Like nobody freaked out. Nobody. I mean, even Gonzo. Gonzo was like, that's the one I thought about. You know what I'm saying? Worried about the most about. And everybody, I was impressed, man. I was impressed and I was proud and I was happy. You know, I was like, everybody did the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody did what they were supposed to do. You know, I mean,
we kind of all knew that was what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Just so the bullshit they had us carrying.
Yeah.
Like, everybody should have had a 203, should have been 4 or 550 cals, that stupid tow missile. There's a lot of shit we didn't need to bring.
Yeah.
And we could have had more people pulling security. I mean, mistakes were made, not at the platoon level.
But let me, we got to think about this. Even if we set up all that stuff we have, right? They caught us at the best time when everything was packed up, when we were getting back on the bird. Like it was like I don't hate the enemy. I was impressed by them. You know what I'm saying? Like I was impressed how they just had the discipline to wait and attack us at that right moment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I couldn't have done it better myself. That was perfect, you know? And like I said, they caused the big ruckus. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said, I didn't think I was gonna make it off that mountain, you know? Especially when you're getting sniper shots and you don't know where it's coming from, you know?
Yeah. Well, you'd built yourself a nice little bunker.
Well, that honestly, I was doing that for Wilson. That's what I was doing it for, because I knew since he had the 240, and I knew that's what they would shoot. You know, they wanted to take out. That's how I felt. At least that's how I felt.
Well, that shit was legendary, man, because there were no like big rocks to build anything. Like these were like you're just making a little berm.
Well, I did throw my backpack in front. You know, I mean my rucksack. I threw that in front. I mean, but that was instinct. You know what I'm saying? When they train us to do that, boom, that's fun, and we start shooting from there. So I did that. I mean, but yeah, there was nothing. There was no cover. I mean, there was nothing. There was nothing. I mean, it was. I thought it was just instinct to try to, you know, build up something so you can, you know, minimize. I mean, we was in the open, like we were eating dirt. Basically, we was eating dirt, you know. So
it's flat on the ground.
Yeah.
Nothing else to do.
Like I said, I mean, every time I had to reload, I had to spin over on my back, roll over, clank it, and then roll back. You know, I mean, that's how I reloaded. But yeah, I remember Wilson's got the 240, right? And he's letting that bad boy, you know, he's making it sing. You know, I give it to him. You know, he's making it sing, and I'm feeding him ammo. You know, and I remember the thing, like we put, so I don't know how many we put. I think we put over 1,000 rounds through that barrel. You know,
yeah.
I mean, we didn't even take. That thing was done. You know, and I remember a round cooked off and pop. You know, and I remember he's shaking his hand. And I can't see, and I'm like, yo, this dude got no finger. I'm thinking like his hand is gone, you know, his fingers. Because the way I couldn't, I was like, yo, give me the 240, give me the 240. He's like, no, I got it. I said, dog, you can't got it. You know what I'm saying? The thing just blew up in your head. He's like, no, I got it. And yeah, he didn't give it 240. He was fine, but I was scared. I thought he lost fingers, you know?
We abused the shit out of our 240s in that platoon.
Yeah. yeah, you know what? Yeah.
I think at Keating, somebody let off so many long bursts. I can't remember exactly who, but the barrel turned white, and they had to like beat it off with a sledgehammer.
Oh yeah.
It was like fused into the receiver. Yeah, we broke a lot of guns.
I mean, and you know what? I mean, as much in situations like that, man. I mean, you don't think about changing the barrel. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking about, you know what I'm saying? And when they catch you off guard, the last, you know what I'm saying? Where the fuck the barrels at? You know, where they go? You know what I'm saying? You know, I dropped it so I could kill these guys. You know, I'm not worried about a barrel. You know, all I'm concerned about bullets. And yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's just madness. You know what I'm saying? Like, however long it lasts, but it's just utter madness. You know? Because I don't know that guy I'm shooting at. He don't know me. You know what I'm saying? He don't know me. I don't know him. I never said nothing to this man. He never said nothing to me. But here we are, you know, trying to kill each other. It's crazy. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. Well, I remember getting off the helicopter. That was a little scary too.
Yeah, because the hill was like this, and the birds are sitting like that. So the rotors are just over the ground, and you gotta crawl underneath them.
And also, I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna walk off a cliff or something. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, we had that one side that was just straight drop. You know, almost that we tried to go down there, and we were like, nah, we couldn't go. Yeah. We were looking for another exfil, you know? And
Oh yeah, on the map it looked like there could have been like a trail, but it was just like,
yeah. Yeah, it was impossible. It was, yeah. But I met one of the guys who was involved in that operation, or at least the planning of the operation. He was a captain, and he was in talk with me, and I overheard them talking one day, and I was like, they didn't even know that I was there. You know what I'm saying? They didn't even know that I was part of that, and but I remember them talking about it, and I'm them laughing, and I remember I was upset, you know, because I was like, yo, that shit was a real scary day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you guys laughing about it, you wasn't there, you know? And I remember getting upset about that. I had this real belief. I don't believe infantrymen should be put in the talk. That's just me, you know? Because I remember I saw so much stuff in the talk and heard so much things that, you know, you got your buddies out on a mission and they're taking contact and they actually have to push through, you know what I'm saying? And you got the bird calling down and telling us to tell our guys not to go back. That like they stirred up the hornet's nest, you know? And I remember the guy in charge is like, no, I want BDA, send those guys back. And I remember the guy in the chopper going, no. I was like, I could give you BDA from the air. Do not send those guys back. So you can imagine what he was seeing, you know?
yeah.
And I remember that he's driving through and I hear, they're like, yo, go back. Yeah, I can't hear. I don't understand. You know, he did one of those, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, fuck you. I'm not going back. And I was so happy because I was like, that's the smart thing. Because I'm sure he's hearing the bird too going, you know? And he's like, nah, we're not going back. And he didn't go back. He's, oh, we low on fuel. He gave every excuse he could. But he didn't go back. He did not go back, man. And
Well, that's what happened with us at Shergall when we did that mission way up the mountain. So we all pack in our vehicles, drive all the way down there, dismount, walk like 10 miles up the mountain. The guy's gone. And so we walk all the way back down. Everybody's drank all their water. We've eaten all our food. And they're like, oh, he's back at his house. Everybody turn around and go back up the hill. And we're just like, yeah.
And you know what? I'm glad. I believe it's Captain Portis, right, who made the call not to.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm glad he did that because, first of all, when we was going up there, I saw so many places that we could have got ambushed, and we had no way. You know, it was just there was no way. You know, and I was like these guys know these places. You know what I'm saying? And if I could pick these places out where we could get hit so easily and have limited, you know, able to fight back, you know, and I'm like, these guys know these places. So imagine what I'm seeing, they know even more, you know? And I thought that was very poorly planned. You know what I'm saying? We should have had air support for that. You know, I mean, I don't know. That's just
we had that Kiowa.
Yeah, well, I mean, and when did that one check in? I mean, I didn't know because I really didn't. I didn't even notice it. I'll be honest with you. I mean,
It's a
I was too busy worrying about when and where they were gonna hit us. You know, because I honestly thought that was another mission where I was like, we're gonna get hit here. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you're not gonna just like we giving them a freebie. You know, we all exposed.
Yeah. But nobody, no Americans had ever been up to that village when we went there. And there was like Soviet bombs stuck in the tree and stuff. Remember those?
Oh, I remember we did that other one. We went to where we were gonna give them money to build a mosque or something. I remember going in that one, and that was a little hairy too, you know, because I remember whenever we dismounted, my main concern was, can Jones see us, you know? And whenever Jones could see us, you know, I ain't have no fear, no nothing, you know what I'm saying? Because I felt like, you know, it felt like Navy SEALs. Hey, God, come in, God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jones was God, you know what I'm saying? Jones was God, because he got the big gun, and I knew he would, you know? And I remember I'll go, hey, Son Stanley, can Jones got us? He'd be like, hold on. We'll call up. Jones be like, yeah, I got that. Cool. But then there will be those missions. Like that one we went to, yo, Jones got us? He's like, nah, man, he can't see us. I'm like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, this is one of those, just hope we don't get into those shit over here, you know?
Yeah,
But,
remember that one where they stuck me and Jones's truck all the way up on the top of the hill, like the main elements down here, and then me and Jones drove all the way up the mountain. That was
yeah,
that time.
yeah.
There was those guys. There was those guys in the building across the way, and everybody would. Went in there and breached? Who was on that breaching team that went in and cleared that building? Or were you gunning at that time?
I think I might have been gunning.
Because I remember like the boomerang, the sniper detector was going off.
Yeah.
And it sounded like somebody was standing on top of our truck shooting.
Yeah.
And we're like looking out the window of the truck down on the Apache helicopters flying through the valley. It's just a surreal environment to be fighting in.
Oh no, yeah, it's I don't know.
Just riding the trucks down that road was scarier than getting shot at in a lot of ways.
Well, you think about it, you couldn't turn around really. You know what I'm saying? Like you sitting duck, you know? That's what I'm saying. It's like if they wanted to really mess us up, they could have, you know, all you gotta do is drop a big boulder on one front, right? And when we drive and we realize, oh shit, we gotta turn, they drop one behind us and they just open up, you know? I mean, what are you gonna do? But I'm glad we didn't. Well, Blue Platoon got hit with an IED.
Yeah, pressure cooker ID.
Remember that?
Yeah, blew the front axle off their truck. Didn't they end up fixing it and we ended up with that one, or was that the one they rolled over?
I don't even know, man. But I remember they're the ones who got hit, and I remember saying, I was glad nobody got hit, but I remember like, thank God it wasn't us, you know? Because I was like, I don't, man, IEDs is not my thing, you know? It's not my thing.
Did you get blown up in Iraq at all?
We got hit. Our convoy got hit one time with I believe it was a 6-array EFP, and that thing, when I saw what that thing could do, it was, but I had already known because I seen the thing go through a Abrams tank, like a big ass hole on the side of the Abrams, man. And what's crazy about it, nobody died, and nobody was seriously injured in that. And I was supposed to be in that tank, but they decided to take the medic instead, and they left me behind, and they got hit. Yeah.
Those are how heat anti-tank shells work. Same principle. And
that whole
RPG-7.
molten, yeah. But also is it's just weird how everything, like people always ask me, which one was worse for you, Iraq or Afghanistan? And they're two different places and two different environments. So, but I was like, I don't know, you know, but as far as psychologically, I thought Iraq was more for me, you know, that was psychologically, because you drive around, basically, this is what I felt. We were driving around waiting to get blown up, you know, and you'll be out on a mission for 16, 18 hours, and then they'd be like, oh, yo, we need you, you know, we ready, you call up, we ready to go back. And they were like, no, we need you to go check with suspected IED. And we're like, well, you know, we're not bomb experts, you know what I'm saying? What are we gonna do, you know?
Yeah.
Well, we'll go check it out, you know? But, yeah. But Afghanistan, at least you can fight back, you know? For 11
Yeah.
Bravo, I think Afghanistan is, you know, because we could, you know, fight back.
Yeah, we didn't do a lot of waiting around asking permission. It's somebody starts shooting you, you're, you know, free to defend yourself, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah. That's definitely a plus. I mean, the only bad thing is you you never saw them, so they struck, you know?
Yeah, the terrain was definitely in their favor.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, that thing is, you never knew till they struck. When they struck, then, you know, but, yeah.
So, what was life in Red Platoon like? Because when you got there, you were a little bit older than everybody else. So you, from our perspective, you kind of became the platoon dad. Like you kind of took everybody under your wing, gave you really good life advice and stuff.
I mean, I mean, it was easy for me because I already had come from a combat situation and had young men telling me what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it was, you know, I already knew that's, you know, the rank and everything else. But it was refreshing to me because I was given a lot of freedom. You know what I'm saying? I was given a lot of freedom. I wasn't, you know, you you know, I was treated like like a professional, you know, like you know your job, you know what you got to do, so go do it. I don't have to tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? And that was really refreshing because I can do, you know, do things and see things and not wait to ask permission to do it. I could just execute and you know, if I'm in this location, I'm like, look, but that location is better because, you know, I didn't have to, can I, or, you know, what do you think? No, I could just go do it. And that was really good, you know? I mean, as far as you guys and the whole dad thing, I mean, I got kids, you know what I'm saying? The same ages as you guys, you know? And uh honestly, I you know, I loved you all the same, you know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, I mean, it's, you know, you can't help to think like a parent, you know what I'm saying? You know, just that's just how it is. You know, when you have kids, you know, you're gonna see it just comes naturally, you know. You just feel that way about other people, you know, especially younger. Especially if you know, a person like me who's been through so much in my life, you know. So I mean, I I always believe that all my mistakes weren't mistakes if I could show somebody not to make them, you know.
Yeah, well, we certainly loved having you, man, Ray. You know, because
I
you
love
know, we were nervous. We were just going to get a bunch of rookies or turds. You know what I mean? We're pleasantly surprised. So I think that that went a long way because you could tell, we could tell that you and Johnson were squared away like the minute you got there. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's funny how the army, like I said, man, it's funny how the army thinks, man. They, if it was up to them, that's what they would have sent out, you know? I'll be
yeah,
honest with
a
you,
bunch
you
of
know?
gonzos.
Yeah. But I mean, Gonzo's different. Gonzo, he held up, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
yeah, somebody who's never, you know, green, you know? Yo, because I remember they had to erase my which I never got back, but I don't care. My Archon. First sergeant took away my Archon right there in front of me. He showed me what he was doing. And he said, when you come back, we'll put it back on. Because they didn't, because I was too short in time for me to get sent back to combat, they said. You know, So, but I don't know because Johnson went and we would, I don't know. That's what he told me.
We've done almost an hour. We can keep talking for a little bit. What else? What other stories you got from Afghanistan? Or you can talk about Iraq or after we got back or whatever. Cold blood.
Oh man, that was.
Jones likes telling the story about how you were like, just watch this. We're gonna go to cold blood. You and I are gonna be the idiots, and Gonzo's gonna be the genius.
Yeah, that was yeah.
I got a funny story about Gonzo. So, right, the last week I was in the Army, right before getting out, we did one last field problem, and I'm sitting in my truck, and the commander's truck pulls up, and it's Gonzo. He had got kicked off the sniper team, and he was driving the commander, and the commander walks out there. He's like, "Where are my fucking radios?" Gonzo had drove all the way out there and didn't put his radios in the commander's truck. I was like, "Oh, shit!"
Oh man!
Like, I don't know this dude. I don't know this dude.
Lucky Gonzo, man. You know what? I remember seeing him, right? And he goes, I had to go. I was walking to go to one of my therapy sessions, and he was like, "Yo, let me give you a lift." So I was like, "All right, cool." I couldn't drive at that time, and I remember he gives me a lift, and I remember he goes, "Oh, remember how you guys used to treat me?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" This is one of those. This is one of those really creepy moments. Like, this guy's gonna kill me. Like, it's like, remember how you guys used to treat me? And I was like, "Yeah, you know what, man? Yeah, that was wrong, man." I was like, "That was wrong. I'm sorry, man. You know how it is, but when you did your thing, though, we knew you was part of us." You know what I'm saying? Like, I was copping the plea, like, this guy's gonna I don't know what he's gonna do, but it was weird. It was. Now I actually felt bad. I was like, damn, man, that was just wrong. 'Cause I remember I was like telling him to hang himself. Remember? He was like, so we could go home. He was like, "Yo," I was like, "Take one for the team." You know what I'm saying? If you hang yourself, they send us all home. Oh man, we treated him so bad.
That was kind of the platoon. That was kind of the platoon thing. We were hard on people.
Yeah, you know what? Like, normal people don't understand that. It's.
I tried to explain the recreational platoon brawls we used to have.
Oh my God!
People would be like, "Well, I wouldn't put up with that. I'd fight back." I'm like, "No, that was what we did for fun, man."
What was that little guy? He was from White Platoon. That we tied him up and threw him into Blue Platoon's barracks.
Nagoza, the littlest guy in the whole unit.
Oh,
like,
man.
Hey, Red Platoon, you guys are supposed to do this. And we're like, "Fuck you."
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, we threw him into Blue Platoon. I was like, oh no. Shit. Fucking Sergeant Stanley. Shit.
Yeah.
The silverback gorilla. That motherfucker. He was definitely a Joe hugger. Like, it was nice, Like, he always looked out for his fucking guys. It was good. It was good, I remember when we were on the mission and my goggles fogged up, my eye pro. And I'm like, damn, son, I cannot see nothing through this thing. He was like, well, take them off. It was like, so it's so simple, just take them off. And I was like, yeah, but you know how it is. Like, don't worry about it. Just take them off, man. I'd rather you see than not see.
Oh yeah, it's like that the eye pro shit. You couldn't wear that shit. They just fog up. Keating, when we would do a foot patrol, like the minute you got out of the wire, everybody unbloused their boots, rolled up their sleeves, and took their eye pro and stuck it in their helmet band.
I
The
mean,
minute
people
we
don't
walk on
understand.
fire.
But that's what like. People don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not there, and this is what bothers, me, like the higher ups, right? And the few that have been in those situations, right? Because they mandated that these are the rules that they have to follow. You know what I'm saying? They, even though they've been in that situation, no, that's almost, if you want these guys to perform, like certain things got to, you know,
Yeah,
if you can't
there was
speak,
kind of a mentality of making sure everybody was safe rather than defeating the enemy. You know what I
well,
mean?
it's like they're worried about. I mean, they're not gonna get a lawsuit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't understand. Like, it's like if I cannot see, how am I supposed to fire? You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Yeah.
can't shoot if I can't see. You know, it's just things like that, man. I mean, the whole bureaucracy of it. You know what? I learned very early that, at least in my opinion, there's three soldiers. You have your combat soldier. You have your garrison soldier, the one who got his all uniform, all nicely pressed, always, all, you know what I'm saying, always know everything from the FM, to spit it all out, you know what I'm saying? But if you put that guy in a combat situation, he goes to hell, you know what I'm saying? And then you got those guys who I used to call, they were like superstars. They could do all three, you know what I'm saying? They could be a combat soldier, they could come back and deal with regular, regular garrison bullshit, you know what I'm saying? And their family lives, you know? And those guys I was always impressed of. And I wanted to be that guy. But you know what? I gotta know, every man's gotta know his limitation. And I'm a combat soldier. You know what I'm saying? That's what I am. They should put me in a fucking glass and they were like, break. I should be like Austin Powers. You know what I'm saying? Let's defreeze this motherfucker and send him to the next war, you know? Because, I mean, that's how I feel, at least, you know? Because that whole Garrison shit, that shit was gay as fuck for me. I was like, nah, this is gay. I'm not doing this, you know?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was pretty much all of us, man. I don't think none of us like that shit. I hate, dude. After that tour, Garrison was just like, I can't do this anymore. And when they moved the base to Butts Airfield, and you had to jump through all those hoops, and you had to get an NCO to do the button so that you could go into the room and shit. And it's just like, I don't want to be sitting in this office all day. They're like, you want to re-enlist? I'm like, nah. I should have.
You know, it's hard.
I should have volunteered for another unit that was deploying.
And that's the other thing. They don't let you do that anymore. Like they used to. Like you was able to jump from unit to unit, before I came in, and do multiple tours, and nobody gave a shit because nobody wanted to go, you know. So it was. I almost had the opportunity to stay with 100 and who replaced us? Was not 100.
101st.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was 101st, right?
Yeah.
It was 101st. That replaced us.
Yes, it
Okay.
was.
So I remember that Sergeant Martin was like, hey, if you want to stay, you can stay with these guys. They were going to work. And I thought about it for a second, but after spending time with you guys and after what we went through, I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm going to go home. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to go home.
Yeah, those dudes are ate up too.
And that's, and that's the other thing. I remember seeing about them, how they got pounded. 10th Mountain had to come and take over, And I remember their commander in the interview, he was distraught, Like, that's how bad they got it. So, yeah, I'm glad I didn't stay. I'm glad I didn't stay.
They had that anti-tank rifle, that big, long sniper rifle they were shooting at the trucks with.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. It wasn't that
it was like a big Russian 50 cal. No, it was a rifle.
Isn't it?
It was like our Barrett 50 cal.
A 50 cal.
Yeah.
Isn't that a Dushka?
That's the machine gun.
Okay.
A Dushka is a belt-fed 50 cal machine gun. This thing was a big ass rifle, and we had been looking for it for all this time, And then I think it was Johnson and Jones went on a patrol. No, it was Johnson. They went on a patrol with the 101st guys doing the right seat ride shit.
Oh,
And he
okay.
was watching the crow. He's like, there's the guy. The guy stood up and he had a rifle with him that was like taller than he was. He's like, you need to shoot that guy right now. And the commander's like, no, we don't have, positive this and that. But that is the guy who's been fucking shooting at us the whole time. And that's just, you gotta just shoot him. You see a guy with a gun or a rocket, it don't matter if he's not doing anything at that moment. And that AO, you just blast him.
But you see how I tell you how these guys got no balls, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not ready, they're not willing to do the hard, I mean, I don't want to say all, but because I remember when I was in the talk, I saw them plant an IED from beginning to end. Like how they did it, like you hear the stories, the guy comes in, digs the hole, right? He leaves. The other guy comes in, drops the bomb, he leaves. Another guy comes in, wires it. I mean, we saw the whole thing. I was amazed. It was just surreal to watch, And I remember they were like, yo, go wake up. I don't want to say no name, but go wake up so-and-so, so we could get okay to, nail these guys, And I'll go running, I'll go knock on, he was asleep, wake him up. He comes over, well, takes his time, I'm telling him, oh, this is, we got these guys. This is a legitimate kill, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, you don't have to worry about nothing. We've seen it all. And he comes in and he was like, well, I didn't see it. Well, you didn't see it because you was asleep. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You didn't see it because, you wasn't here. But you have guys who are here who are seeing it. And they should be your eyes when you're not here, right? I mean, it was just things like that. But he didn't want to make the call. He did not want to give, And we had an Apache on standby ready, But he was like, no, I didn't, So. But it's things like that, But what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah. It's a shame when you can't do the one thing you're there to do because of a bunch of bureaucratic bullshit.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm glad there's rules and stuff like that. So when we're not savages, you know what I'm saying? We're not out there to plunder and pillage, you know what I'm saying? That's not what we do, I mean, but sometimes you don't have time to think, man, and you just can't, and that's what bothers me. And I might be going off the subject, but I just want to make a point. Why is it that soldiers have more rules and regulations than a police officer? You know what I'm saying? Like some of the stuff they do, if I was to do in combat, I will be court-martialed. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm going to say about that. That's how hard a soldier's job is, and people don't realize that. They think we're just running around shooting up the place, and and it's not like that, man. Sometimes we think more, and sometimes I feel the enemy has more rights than we do. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like when we signed up, we gave up our rights, and the enemy had all the rights, and we had to play on their rules and by their, regulations. And I mean, I like I said, it's weird because when I signed up to fight for my country. New York got hit. I was in New York when 9/11 happened. I was working in Penn Station. One of my competitors who was working, his brother worked on the 96th floor in Tower 2, I believe. And I remember we watched this on TV, and this guy was an ex-Marine. And I remember this man let out the scream and fell to his knees. And he said he killed my brother. And I remember he got up and he just took off running. And he ran down and he made it down there. And then that's when the towers collapsed. So that was big for me because it was somebody close that I knew who lost somebody. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's really what I mean. I was like, I'd rather fight. I thought about when I joined. I was like, I'd rather fight on another country than fight on my soil. You know what I'm saying? Wait for guys to come here and fight here. Nah, fuck that. We can stop them over there. Let's fight. Let's mess up their place. Let's not mess up our place. You know? And that was my feelings about it. And also, I thought about, I didn't want my kids to go do that. You know? So.
Yeah, I feel you. It took me a while to join. I think I was 16 when that shit went down, so I wasn't old enough to join then. And I tried to do the college thing and all that, and it's just like, I don't know, wasn't really going anywhere. So I just signed up and got thrown in the thick shit. I never expected that deployment to go the way it did. You know what I mean? It was going to be like, I'm going to drive around, maybe get blown up, maybe shoot my gun a couple times, but not, fight
not
for your life.
Not a full-scale assault. I mean, that's the stuff movies are made of. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't think anybody. It's like weird. I went to Iraq. I didn't get my CIB, even though I got sniped at. We got shot with RPGs. We almost got blown up. I didn't get my CIB because an infantryman has to engage the enemy. Be engaged and engage the enemy. So we didn't fire back. I didn't fire back, so I didn't CIB, and I was fine with it. So when I went to Afghanistan, and we had that was a huge firefight, and and I got my CIB that day. I remember that all I kept thinking was when they put the CIB on me was it didn't mean that much to me. It didn't mean as much. When I joined, I had these two goals. My first goal was, of course, to get my CIB, and then to do 4 tours, 2 in Iraq, 2 in Afghanistan. That was my goals. So when I got my CIB, it didn't feel, because all I kept thinking about it was I got this day because Johnson got shot. You know what I'm saying? That's all I kept thinking. Like every time I saw it, it reminded me of the day he got shot and how scared I was that he was gonna die. And how terrified I was, and I knew that if he would have passed away, God, thank God, but if it would have been something like that, I don't think I would not be the same man I am now. I know that. You know what I'm saying? I was really, really scared that day, after, we got back. Because you start to think of all the what if, what if this happened? What if that happened? How did we get it?
I remember thinking that when he was, we going back and visit him in the hospital. I'm like, this dude volunteered to come all the way here to replace our guys who got killed. And then if he, he took a bullet, and I'm like, because he was the only one in Red that got seriously injured after the battles. The freaking new guy took one in the ass.
Man, that was a big asshole, man. I was like, shoot. I mean, and you know what's funny? I remember we got back when we landed from the choppers, and I remember getting off and somebody just sticks a cigarette in my mouth. Oh, I had just quit smoking before that mission. I said, that's it. I'm not smoking no more, right? Because I got to get my run up, And I remember I quit smoking that mission. And I remember when we got the contact, I was like, out of all the goddamn days to quit smoking today, you know, I'm gonna die without a cigarette, you know. And I remember, like I said, man, I don't know who it was, man. Somebody just jammed it right in my mouth, bro. I just lit it, you know, and I smoked it all the way to the barracks. And it still hasn't hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was still, to me, it was like it wasn't real. It was so surreal. Like I didn't think we was gonna come off that mountain. Am I really here? You know, like my mind was like, did I die up there and I'm dreaming this, or this is how it is? You know, like I really, it didn't really. I mean, I couldn't comprehend what was going on. And I remember seeing this cart, and I was like, what the hell is that for? And they were like, oh, that's it, you know. They thought we were going bodies, as far as guys told us, you know. Like they didn't think, you know, we were gonna make it off there, or they, you know, not by ourselves, you know. And I remember that when I dropped my gear off and I realized what was going on, I realized that I didn't think about Johnson the whole time, you know. You know, after he got shot, I didn't, you know, think about him because, you know, I was doing my job. And that, I think that was one of the biggest things that bothered me for a long time. Because I know that if his injuries would have been life, you know, I would not be the same person, you know. But I didn't think about him the whole time during the firefight, you know.
Yeah, you gotta let the you gotta come down from that adrenaline, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because
I didn't think we were gonna live anyway. I'll be honest with you. So I did not think. It's crazy. And what's crazy is that I was okay with it. I was like, I don't know. I was okay with it. But you know, guys ask me, how do you go on mission day after day with all the uncertainties and all the, and I said, for me it was easy. The minute I got into that truck, I was what I say, I go into like the zone, you know? And once we pull out of that gate, I just put in my mind that I was already dead. You know, you're already dead, so there's nothing to fear. You know what I'm saying? If you come back, cool. But you're already dead.
Every time at Bostic, when we would roll out on a patrol where we were going into an area we knew we were going to take contact from, bro, I would get the jitters, man, before we'd run out. Like once everything kicked off, it was fine. But that anticipation, my legs would shake, my hands would shake, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. It was like tremors almost. It's like your whole body's just shaking. And then go ahead.
Yeah. No, my thing is my nerves attack my stomach. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I wouldn't eat before a mission. You know what I'm saying? Like I would wait like 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? The last meal, like, we got a mission in the morning. All right, I cannot eat. You know what I'm saying? After this, you know, because my nerves hit my stomach. You know what I'm saying? I'll be shitting on myself while I'm fucking firing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's why I will never. I'm like, no, I'm not eating. You know, I'll be for a mission. Because
my boss Avalos had this magical ability to shit on every single patrol. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I didn't take one poop outside the wire that whole deployment. I'm like, I am not gonna be that dude. I wouldn't eat before a mission either. You know what I mean? I
did poop one time, and you know what? It was me and Johnson together, and that's what made it easy. You know, because he was right behind me. We were back to back, like shit on the sidewalk. I don't know what it was. It was, I don't know. It was, yeah. I remember it was dark as shit. And I was like, man, I was like, oh, I remember, I just don't want to get shot with my pants down. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Was that that clip Overwatch we did at Zanger Bochet?
I think, Dad, how you remember all this? I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, we were out there for like 3 days.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
I don't know
Oh,
how I
man.
don't know how I did it, but I had just the shit would just clench, and I wouldn't even have the urge. I'll just hold it till we got back.
Well, I'm going to tell you a funny story about basic. Now, let me tell you something. Before Squirrel joined the military, Squirrel was very, there's just things he didn't do. You know what I'm saying? Like shower with another man? No. You know what I'm saying? Like shit in front of people? No. That's not, that's savagery. You know what I'm saying? Squirrel don't do those things. So I remember I held my shit. I think it was 4 days. We were out for 7. And I was like, I'm on my 4th day. I'm like, oh man, I'm almost there. You know what I'm saying? And I remember late that night, I get that pain. And I'm like, fuck. Like, I pray, like, just go away, you know? And now that shit just started growing. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to take a shit. And I'm terrified now. Like, I ain't never taking shit from nobody. I ain't never taking shit outside, you know? And I told my buddy, he was like, yo, man, I gotta go. And he was like, fuck it, I gotta go too. You know, because we was holding it together. And we went out there and it was crazy because there was guys just hanging around the fucking the slit we did, you know, the shit and they were smoking and talking. And I'm like, damn, get out of here, you know? And I'm like, and my buddy goes, yo, man, come on, man, give him some privacy. He never did. Oh, don't worry about it. Yo, we teach you, come on. And they just, you know, you could do it this way, or you could do it this way, you know, and they showed me all these different ways to do it, you know? And it was funny. I did it, and I was like, wow, it was comfortable. After that, every time we was out of the field, I shitted the field. You know, it's like, whatever. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, those are experiences you'll never forget, you know? I'll never forget. And I'm just happy and glad that I was able to experience them, you know? Like I said, you guys will always be in my heart, you know? Everybody, I mean, even the guys who weren't so favorable, you know? I mean, everybody, because I learned from everyone, you know? And that's how I look at life.
There was nobody in the platoon that I hated. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like we were pretty tight knit group.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know how it is. It's not hate is a strong word. You know what I'm saying? But there's some people that you just don't click with. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just everywhere. But I don't remember anybody being mean to anybody or anything like that, really, you know, except Donzo. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think everybody got along pretty well, you know. Even with other guys from the other platoons, you know. So that was cool.
Yeah, it was a pretty good time.
So what do you thought about the movie?
I haven't seen it yet.
You were serious?
Yeah.
Mm.
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I mean, I wasn't there, so it was like, you know what I'm saying? But from what I heard, there was certain things that bothered me about it, you know, but I mean, whatever. You know, people were made out to look, I don't know. It was entertaining. But other people, like my son liked it, you know. But he don't know the real background, the story, you know. So.
Yeah, I'll watch it eventually. What I'd like to do is get a bunch of the guys together and record a commentary track. So if you want to watch the movie and then put our video up with it, so you can hear us talking shit the whole way through. I think that'd be pretty funny.
that would like the two little aliens. You ever seen that?
Yeah, Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Yeah. I used to love that. That would be pretty cool. That would be cool. Hey, was it you that made the thing about going, like to visit fallen soldier sites for the reunion?
Yeah, that was an idea for a reunion down the road. We just charter like a party bus and just go from spot to spot, just getting smashed the whole time.
I'm not gonna lie, I actually dig that. I
That'd be,
told I told I told Jonesy about. I was like, you know what? That I like that idea.
it would take like a good week or two, and we'd be a road trip, and
Yeah.
I think it'd be a good time.
I know you. We had when me and Cuddy used to always get put on guard duty, the worst shit, because we'll
Oh,
fuck with fucking oh my god, what's his name? Oh my god. He was always in charge of the motor pool for us. Like every time a motor pool week.
oh, Lonkoski.
Sikorsky. Oh my god, loco. Yeah. We will fuck with him so hard the whole week. And then he will give us the shitty ass guard duty. Me and Cuddy, bro. And I remember
You got to tell that story. You got to tell that
What?
story.
What story?
Oh, you know.
What with the Afghan guard?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but that's what I'm getting with Cuddy. I remember Cuddy used to sing. And it was like I don't remember what shit. I think it was the 3 to 7. I think it was. I don't remember. It was the shitty shit.
Or when
And
the sun's coming up and it's freezing cold.
it's freezing cold. Yes. So we be up there just smoking cigarettes and freezing and shivering the whole night. And I remember I used to be like, Cuddy, sing some songs, and he sing the oldies, and it would bring me back, and it was cool, because you could sing pretty good. So I was like, cool. And I remember the Afghan guard didn't like it, I guess, and he started going like singing some craziness, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with this guy, And I remember me and Cuddy laughing and Cuddy singing, and he just keeps singing, and I remember Pushkin, I said, oh, this motherfucker crazy, you know what I'm saying, or something like that, and he said, motherfucker, and he just fucking lost it, you know what I'm saying? And we start going back and forth, and this motherfucker draws fucking AK at me, And I was like, what the fuck? And I just automatically just fucking swiped him with my weapon. Wow! Just hit him with the butt in the face. He drops the AK, and I, wail him again. I muscle thumped him with the fucking muzzle. Boom! Just right in his face. Then I remember grabbing him, and I wanted to throw him off the balcony, off the tower, That was my mission. Throw this motherfucker off the tower. And he starts crying, and he starts, oh man, and he's begging Cuddy. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I got the fucking gun. And I remember Cuddy. I look at Cuddy, you Squirrel, man. I said, shut the fuck up. I put the gun on Cuddy. I shoot you too. I was like, I was so fucking, I never wanted to kill somebody so bad in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, like, I never wanted to kill somebody so bad in my life. And I knew I could have did it, but when I saw Cuddy, he was like shaking and sliding up, and I was like, you know what? If I kill this man right now, this is murder. No matter how I paint it, no matter how, and if somebody wants to, you know what I'm saying, I could get convicted. I had the maturity, I think, to be able, under all that, be able to make a rational decision. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was able to put my adrenaline, all my feelings, and make a conscious decision not to take this man's life as much as I wanted to, and as much as I felt that I was justified and I had every right, and that I felt that I'll be doing everyone a favor by killing this nigga. That's how I felt. But
none of us would have blamed you, dude.
And you know what? And you know what? If I would have been there with somebody else, it might have been different. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. So, but I still have mixed emotions about that. You know, because after that's when all the green and blue started happening. You know what I'm saying? And I always think like maybe that guy one day, you know what I'm saying, actually did kill a soldier. You know what I'm saying? If I would have took him out, then he would have. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
little things like that stay in your head. You know, I mean, just things you deal with. You know, like I said, the what ifs.
That tower was
Right.
crazy, man. A lot of shit went down up in that tower.
They walk into it too, man, and then you have to walk through the Afghan. You know,
The Afghan ghetto,
yeah,
the good
yeah,
thing.
exactly. It was crazy, man. Like, wow.
Yeah, because if they decided to turn on you there, you weren't getting back to the main base.
No,
You'd have to get through like 50 guys.
those guys, those two guys up there were done. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, they were not making it. They decided to turn. Yeah, those guys they were, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It, that was, that was always crazy. But I mean, I had so many close encounters. Like it's been crazy. I mean, I remember me and this Afghan guard like got into this staring match one time. This was on my last deployment, and that was we went to their side over in Finley Shields, and we drove over to their side, and I remember to have a big meeting. I was on PSD at that time. I was the sergeant major's PSD, and I remember like me and this guy just staring each other down, like yo, like the hood, you know, like when I was growing up, you know. And I'm telling my guys like, yo, if this dude keep looking, I'm like something bad gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna let this dude kill me, you know. And I remember my guys were like all scared. They were like, please, Squirrel, don't do nothing, you know. I was like, look, I'm not gonna do nothing, but you know, I'm just put you on notice. If you hear my shit going off, y'all better be ready, cause you know, and it got so tense, and I was like, you know what? I said, I'm gonna have to defuse this. You know what I'm saying? Or at least try to, you know, before something, because it was like we was in this little building, like, cause you know how it is. It was like narrow. You know what I'm saying? You firing at a guy in there, yo, you know, there's no missing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is gonna be bad. And it was only like 5 of us, you know, and so what I did, I went up to the guy and I asked him if he wanted to take a picture. Like he didn't speak no English, but I made this, you know, me and you know. And he first looked at me like, "Well, what kind of game you trying to play on me, you know?" And I was like, "No, we take a picture, seriously." I gave my weapon to my buddy, and then he felt at ease, and we took a picture together, you know. And I got that picture still, and I actually blew it up. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those that could have went either way. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it could have been, you know, but yeah. Oh, there was as a matter of fact, that day, as we were leaving their compound to go to our compound, we were driving on pickup trucks, right? And I was in the back of the pickup truck with I don't know if it was a lieutenant, I believe it was a lieutenant. Anyway, it was me and him in the back of the pickup truck, and we the last vehicle. And I remember this vehicle starts coming at us, right? It's coming. I see it from far speeding, and I see him picking up speed. And I'm like, oh shit, what the hell's going on, you know? And then we went through the serpentine, and he started going through it. But he's going pretty fast, you know? So I'm like, okay, why is he driving that fast, you know? So I was like, uh-oh. So I said, this guy, I felt like it might be a suicide bomb. You know what I'm saying? A truck, you know, a truck bomb. And I remember I went, I put a 203 in, I pop, you know, put it in. I fucking got myself in a nice good stand because, you know, the truck was bumpy, try to keep it steady back, and I aimed down at the truck. And I remember saying in my head, I was like, if he makes it past that last one, I gotta hit him. Like, I if I don't do it, you know what? I'd rather be charged, you know what I'm saying, killing a man that was innocent than allowing him to take us all out, because that's how I felt. I actually, felt, and I remember the lieutenant just looked at me, and he just stood like to the side, like, I'm gonna stay out of your fire, but he ain't say not to do it, at no time. He was like, you take in charge, you do it, and I was like, I remember thinking in my head, they either gonna give me a medal or I'm gonna get locked up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, one or the other. But you know what? The guy made the last final left to go into the base in another way, and he didn't. And I was so happy, bro.
So who was it?
I don't know. I don't know. But that was scary for me too. That was another scary time, because
Remember that we were driving down to Purtle King. Were you in my truck? We were in like the lead truck, and those like Afghan commandos that work with like the CIA. They had those black Toyotas. Remember, they were coming the other way, like towards us. They had like, it's like a pickup truck with AKs sticking out the windows and rockets and shit. I'm just like, okay, who are these guys? Who are these guys? And they stop in front of us, and everybody starts getting out. I'm just like, we're about to rock these dudes. I'm like, oh no, they're gonna escort us in or something. I'm like, well, thanks for telling it.
I know.
That was hella sketchy, dude.
I mean, it's so many. Yeah. I mean, you just don't know, man. And like I said, all the green and blues were happening, and it was scary times, man. Scary. And you know what's weird? It's like I look back now, and I'm like, I couldn't do that again. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't. I just couldn't do it.
What do you think's changed? Because I want to think I could do it.
Well, you know what? When I lost my son 3 years ago, that's when I knew I couldn't do the job no more for sure. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't because of the excessive drinking or none of that. It was just that I didn't think I could take another life. You know what I'm saying? That pain is so great when I lost my son that I was like, I can't do my job. I can't. Because I don't know if I could freeze. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I mean, and I'll be honest with you, it changed me because to this day, now don't get me wrong, somebody broke in my house right now and try to hurt me, I'm going to kill him. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to defend myself. If somebody go try to hurt my daughter, my wife, my family, anybody, you know what I'm saying? Even you, I know I can do it, but I will never put myself in a situation where I know that I have to do that when I didn't have to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like we volunteered to go to the army. You know what I'm saying? So I put myself in that situation to take a life. That's what my job was, and that's what I had to do. I said I will never put myself in that situation again. You know what I'm saying? I did my time, and you know what? If I don't ever take another life, I'm fine with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm completely fine. I hope I never have to. But like I said, don't get me wrong. If you come to my house or you go after somebody that I love, I know, you know what I'm saying? I'll do what I got to do. But I can't do that anymore.
Right. Well, we've done about 2 hours. If you want to wrap it up, and I'll just stop the recording. We can shoot the shit.
Yeah.
If you want. So hey, I just want to thank you for your service, man. I'm glad you volunteered and came out to us, man. You were a big part of Red Platoon for that second half of the deployment.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And it was an honor and a privilege to serve with the greatest Americans, honestly, at least that I know. You know what I'm saying? In my general, and and I know it sounds cheesy, but that's just how I feel. That's just it.
Well, we feel the same way about you, man.
Cool.